On Saturday, August 3rd, Terrence Bud Crawford will challenge Israel Madrimov for his WBA junior middleweight title and also the WBO interim super welterweight title. This is a fight that could add to the legacy that Crawford has already strongly established. Let's talk about the fight. Several weeks back, Bernie the Boxer, a gentleman that is associated with the Terrence Crawford camp, did an interview that was conducted on Boxing News 24, and he spoke about Israel Madrimov and the way that their camp, Crawford's camp, viewed Madrimov as the toughest champion in the division of 154, super welterweight, junior middleweight. And speaking of Madrimov and his accomplishments, one thing that was really established is Crawford wants to seek out the true challenges in the sport. And with the mention of a fighter like Madrimov, who's young and prime enough to be considered a legitimate threat, that's exactly what Crawford needed for motivation. Now, when we look at Madrimov and what he has accomplished in his career, only 10 fights in, but he is a world champion. He is one of the strongest fighters in the division. He won the vacant WBA super welterweight title back in March of 2024. And he won it against Magomed Kubranov. And in that fight, it was a 5th round TKO win for Madrimov. It was the type of fight where he was able to get on top of his opponent with his physicality, quick hands, and quick feet. Something that will trouble a number of fighters. But when we're talking about a fighter like Terrence Bud Crawford, who has seen that and then some in his 40 wins, Madrimov presents only the trouble of being a younger guy, 29 years of age, and that Eastern European style is something that Crawford can deal with. He has the type of style that is the antithesis of that. More athletic, quick of hands and feet, even more so than Madrimov, but also the cunning mind of a well-established champion who has fought numerous fighters that were bigger and stronger than himself. It was thought that Errol Spence Jr. would be too strong. It was thought that several other fighters in Crawford's career would be too strong. Madrimov has this propensity to throw lead right hands. It's a solid punch for him, and he gets it off because of his fast twitch muscles. He's able to throw that shot almost like a jab. But when you fall into a rhythm of doing something too frequent, too often, an experienced veteran can catch you in the middle of doing those type of things, maybe even setting the type of traps that will allow you to do this. Crawford, who has been known to switch from southpaw to orthodox, can do this with the best of them in the sport. And Madrimov, who may try to crowd and get in close, could find himself getting countered from mid-range and also being hit with shots that he doesn't see by being in close. So he's going to have to use some technical skills as far as boxing, meaning establish a jab. But will he want to do that, or is he thinking that he's just going in against a smaller guy that he can dominate physically? I don't think that he should think that way, because Crawford, even with his wrestling background, understands balance, strength, and how to manipulate the body. He's an expert at that. Plus, he is, like I said, one of the most cunning fighters in the sport of today. 31 KOs on his record and a 12 knockout record string ongoing. Crawford is the type of fighter that is going to show Madrimov something from an experience standpoint. I don't expect this to be an easy fight for him, but I do expect Madrimov to come in and present some challenge, because the gentleman is younger and a little fresher, possibly stronger. I say possibly because though Crawford be thin and reedy, he has that thin man type strength. And those from the deep south know what that is all about. Being a physical person, you need to also be a cerebral person when you're dealing with a fighter like Crawford. Madrimov is excited. His promoter is excited. They are looking to do some special things in the junior middleweight division, and right now is his time to come out and show exactly what he brings to the table. But at the end of the day, as far as I can see things, I can see Terrence Bud Crawford continuing to impact the sport with his presence, his abilities, his ring generalship, his mind, and his ability to overcome adversity. You put that all together and you have what is a pound for pound prime fighter. People will not appreciate him until he retires. And it's usually that way, isn't it? When you see fighters who are fighting at the top of the sport, being the best that they can be, during that track, that path that they be on, you don't really recognize the greatness. You're always looking for faults, you're looking for shortcomings, but you're not enjoying what's so impressive. We see the same thing happening with Clarissa Shields and the success that she's having in her career as she continues to stamp her legacy. Thus is the same for Terrence Bud Crawford, and I see him with a late round stoppage over Israel Madrimov. But what do you think? This is Stormy B-Man. Shout out to the mighty LDBC and Liberated Perspective, a third eye view of the world. For more content such as this, please like, comment, subscribe, and share. Let me know what you think about Crawford versus Madrimov. Peace to everyone out there, and everyone please remain safe.